Whether you run your own business like I do, or you're just trying to carve out extra time in your schedule for a hobby or household chores, it can be really difficult to stay productive, and even more so to stay productive while actually enjoying your time and enjoying the process. Today I'm going to be sharing my best tips for how to stay productive and actually enjoy it. The bigger the task that lies in front of you, the more fear and overwhelm you're going to have to deal with around getting it done. When you're getting started with that momentum of starting to be more productive in your day-to-day life, it's really important to start small and to take baby steps. Think about a handful of necessary tasks that have to get done throughout your day. I always like to start my day off with tackling those right off the bat. It kind of gives you that feeling of accomplishment right at the start of your day, and it can lead on to that snowball effect of being able to tackle bigger and bigger tasks. This works on a micro level of a day-to-day basis, but is also even more important on a macro level. If you're really trying to overhaul things in your life or your schedule, you need to take those small but meaningful steps, and then as you're able to successfully accomplish them for extended periods of time, you can add in more layers, you can add in a little bit more. We live in a very distracted world, whether it's social media or the nearly unlimited entertainment options, or a lot of us working from home with our families. It can be really difficult to stay focused and to not get distracted by all of the things in your environment. However much you're able, do your best to set yourself up with a distraction-free environment to get done your tasks for the day. Hopefully you're able to have a little office space, or maybe even a nook within your home that you can get work done free from the environmental distractions. There are also a ton of different apps and tools out there for removing digital distractions, like timers and apps for writing that block out all of the other applications on your computer. Luckily, I'm not someone that's very distracted by the digital space around me, so I'm not that familiar with the apps, but I will link any below that I find, and I would highly encourage, if you know of any that work well for you, leave them in the comments for everyone. For those of you that have a lot more trouble with environmental distractions like I do, make sure that you're trying your best to carve out that space. I realize that's not possible for everyone, especially with a lot of folks that are working from home this year that aren't usually used to it. Do your best to find an area that you're not going to be distracted by your family or by your environment. This is also a really great time to speak with other members of your family. Let them know that I need this time away without any distractions to be able to get my work done. One of the best ways to stay on track with things and to ensure that you can continue your distraction-free environment is to have a set schedule and time to do your tasks. The set schedule is a great thing to communicate and help reduce the distractions from other people that might be living in your household, but I found it to be even more beneficial at an internal and personal level. If I'm having a day where I'm just not feeling very motivated, and nothing would sound better than to go sit on the couch and play some video games, it's nice to remind myself that I have this amount of time set aside, and then once those hours are completed, I am done for the day and I can guilt-free go sit on the couch and relax. Whether it's just stuff around the house and you're not actually running a business or working, or it is a business and you are working from home, you kind of have to be your own boss in a sense. You have to build in a little bit of that structure, because it's as important for the times that you're not working as it is for the times that you are working. It took me a long time to wrap my head around this, but once I started to do so, I noticed a significant improvement in my mental state. I'm the type of person that's a bit of a completionist, and when you have your own business, the to-do list is really never ending, especially if you're a homeowner. I'm sure it's the same sort of thing, where you have a never-ending list of home improvement tasks that you want to get done. It's unsettling for a lot of folks like me to have that list not be completed. So I'm always the type of person that will work and slave myself until I get everything completed, and then I'll take a deep breath and relax. But if you're never able to complete that list, you can't do that forever. So having that set schedule has definitely helped improve my mental state significantly, and I continue to force myself to do so even on days where I might not want to. Having organized tasks is really important, but you also need to be mindful and careful of forcing yourself into that overwhelmed state. If you organize the next month of your schedule out, for me at least, I always will see that big list of things, and that in and of itself can be very overwhelming for me, which can then make me want to back away and do less. Focusing on that single task scheduling has been so beneficial for me. This rounds into some of the other topics, but I will generally come up with a rough idea of my week. And like I said, each day I have one big task that I plan on working on. This is going to be really different depending on what sort of work that you're doing, whether it's for a job or a business, or you're doing it for fun or chores around the house. And it's also going to be a lot different depending on who you are and how your brain works. But for me, organizing that big single task every day has been a big help for me. And having that set schedule is very, very important to make sure that you're getting done what needs to be done. Sometimes I do have to schedule things out further out in advance, and I do still deal with that overwhelm from over to doing and over scheduling, but generally I do my best to try and simplify my schedule of tasks, and that tends to make me feel like what I have laid out for myself can be accomplished, which then in turn allows me to get a little bit more done in a little bit of a better mood. I mentioned before about kind of having to be your own boss when it comes to staying productive and staying in a good mindset around your productivity. One of the key points for that for me is developing some sort of reward system. This kind of plays into all the other points that we've talked about as well, but you want to make sure that you have something that you're working towards, whether it be a goal with your actual productivity, or maybe some sort of activity or hobby, or a special meal, or some sort of product that maybe you've been saving up and wanting to get. Develop those reward systems to treat yourself when you actually get your work done. This sounds kind of childish and dumb, I realize it, but a big thing for me is being able to play video games, or maybe watch a TV show I've been wanting to binge watch. I know if I can get all of my work done in my set scheduled hours, I can go off on the couch and play Red Dead Redemption 2. That's actually what I'm planning on today after I'm done filming and editing this video. But you get my point there. You want to have some sort of light to look on into the future. You want to have that goal, something positive that you are going to get to experience after you get your work done. I think it's also really important to remember to schedule and plan out longer term reward systems while also maintaining some shorter term reward systems. On the shorter term, a big thing for me is when I'm ready to take a lunch break. If I know I'm going to be hungry and I'm going to want to break in an hour or two, I kind of look at what I'm doing and figure out what I can accomplish before I take my lunch break. Like I said, all of this sounds kind of silly when you talk about it out loud, but developing those little reward systems is a great way to kind of keep that momentum and pace going without even really realizing it. And on the longer term, having little things, or treats, if you want to call it that, is a great way to see the light at the end of a tunnel if you're under a lot of stress and have a lot to do. I just got done with several big client projects over the past couple of months, and I have been extremely busy. I mentioned earlier Red Dead Redemption 2. I finally broke down and bought a digital copy of it about a month ago. I wanted to have that relaxing break time in my mind in the future, so I knew once I got all of those big projects done, I was going to start playing the game. Like I said, all of this sounds kind of silly and childish, but I promise you, if you're anything like me, it works wonders. I am currently enjoying that game. I'm a few days in. It's been lovely. All of these things take time though. As we said in the beginning, make sure that you're starting small and just working your way there. Give yourself some credit, give yourself some slack. You should always be practicing and learning about yourself, learning about your craft, whatever the to-dos are that you're trying to accomplish. As you learn more, things will get easier, and as you learn about yourself more, you'll be able to work around your weaknesses and focus on your strengths. That rounds me into the sponsor of today's video, and that is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform that has classes about a lot of different creative fields and also business fields. things. I've been a big fan of Skillshare for a long time. You all know I am a huge advocate for lifetime learning. It has done wonders for my mental state and also the knowledge that I keep in my brain. If you've never heard of Skillshare, which I would highly doubt, they have classes about photography, videography, design, entrepreneurship, business, just about anything for anyone in a creative field or that enjoys a creative hobby. One of my favorite classes that I've taken was by Elaine Sheldon and covered how to create a documentary video portrait. She went step by step on this documentary project following a folk group duo. She walked you through the whole process step by step for interacting to the talent, for what shots and the cinematography aspects of making a documentary, along with the editing process. And one of my favorite aspects of the class was, how to pitch your video to people to actually make money. It's one of the toughest things to do as a creative, and especially for a documentary filmmaker, is how to make money with your art and with your projects. So it was really nice that that was included. The first 1,000 people that join with the link I have below this video will receive a free trial. During that time, you can watch and learn about as many topics and take as many classes as you would like. I would highly encourage you to do so and check it out. I've been a big fan for a long time, so I was really happy that they reached out and wanted to sponsor this video. So big thanks to Skillshare. Be sure to check that out down below. That's going to be it for the tips in this video, though. I really hope they help you. It's an ongoing process for all of us, but these are the things that have definitely made the biggest impact for me to be more productive and stay more productive consistently, and also keep a positive and healthy mental state while doing so. Let me know your best tips down below for everyone else. I'd love to hear them. I'm sure everyone watching this would love to hear them as well. Thank you, and I'll talk to you in the next one.